The Harry Potter movies have a lot of deleted scenes, and some of them should have stayed in the movies because it would have been a lot more interesting. So today we're going to be showing you Harry Potter deleted scenes that would have made the movies as good as the books. First scene we want to mention is from the Deathly Hallows Part 1 movie, where the Dursleys have to leave their house because of the Death Eaters hunting down Harry. In this scene, Dudley asks why Harry isn't joining them in leaving, and Harry says that he doesn't want to, and that Vernon thinks he's a waste of space anyways. And what Dudley does after Harry says this would have made the movie 10 times better if it was kept in, considering how Dudley has been a bully to Harry his whole life.
I don't think you're a waste of space.
Thanks.
Speaking of bullies, this next deleted scene has to do with Harry's school bully Draco. The scene being in Deathly Hallows Part 2, when Harry is carried to the courtyard by Hagrid and is presumed dead. Voldemort was telling the wizards of Hogwarts to surrender since he thought Harry was dead, and Malfoy had walked over to join his parents. And shortly afterwards, Harry had jumped out of Hagrid's arms to show them he's alive, and Draco actually called out his name and threw him his wand. This scene would have been better kept in because it would show that Draco doesn't actually hate Harry and isn't evil. Now, this next scene isn't exactly a deleted scene, more of a deleted audio. It's from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. It's the scene where Sirius Black is murdered right in front of Harry by Bellatrix. You can see that Harry is screaming out in pain watching his only living family member die right in front of him. But you can't exactly hear his scream, there's just sad music playing. This is because Daniel Radcliffe's scream during this scene was so real that it actually made some people on the set cry, and even the directors. So they decided to mute it because they didn't want the audience to feel the pain of his scream. But there is an unmuted version of it. It's not exactly what it sounded like, but it's more of what it was thought to have sounded like. We'll play the clip for you now. For this next deleted scene, we're going back to the second movie, The Chamber of Secrets. It takes place shortly after Harry duels Malfoy in front of all his classmates and was speaking Parseltongue to the snake that Malfoy had summoned. It shows a conversation between a few classmates sitting at a table talking about Harry behind his back, saying that they think he's the heir to Slytherin and that he opened the Chamber of Secrets. It was already hinted in the movie that his classmates thought this, but it didn't actually show anybody talking about it. So having this scene in the movie definitely would have made it juicier.
You definitely think Potter's the heir of Slytherin?
Hannah, he's a parcel mouth. Everyone knows that's the mark of a dark wizard. Have you ever heard of a decent one who could talk to snakes? They called Slytherin himself Serpent Tongue.
Harry always seems so nice, though. And after all, he is the one who made you-know-who disappear.
That's probably why you-know-who wanted to kill him in the first place. Didn't want another Dark Lord competing with him.
Next is a rather sad deleted scene from the Deathly Hallows Part 2 movie. It's where Remus and his wife Nymphadora reunite for the Battle of Hogwarts. If this scene had made the final cut, it would have made their deaths and the whole movie even more devastating, as we see Nymphadora run to Remus and he tells her she should have stayed at home with their son. Seeing this tender moment is almost too much to bear, especially considering what happens.
You shouldn't have! It's Teddy who needs you.
He'll sleep till dawn and snore like his father. It's you that needs me tonight.
The next deleted scene is from the 6th movie, The HalfBlood Prince. It takes place when Harry and Dumbledore arrive at the cave that they believe has a Horcrux hidden in it. Dumbledore tells him that where he stands, Tom Riddle stood many years ago, and that he lured 2 young classmates to the cave they were at, but what had happened was unclear other than the classmates were damaged. Then, what Dumbledore does after he says this was unexpected.
Where you stand, Harry, Tom Riddle once stood.
Many, many years ago, one wintry afternoon, you lured 2 young classmates to this cave. What happened is unclear, but this much is known. The children were damaged.
This scene would have definitely made things more interesting and even more informative if kept in, so why did they take it out? They even deleted a scene when they were traveling through the cave, and Dumbledore said he's not worried because he's with Harry. Should have kept that one in too.
Don't worry, really there.
I'm not worried, Harry. I'm with you.
Since we're already on the HalfBlood Prince, we'll talk about the deleted scene called Innoctem. This scene takes place shortly after Harry and Dumbledore get back from the Horcrux cave. It shows students in the dining hall singing a song called Innoctem. It's a rather haunting melody, and as the singing is playing in the background, it shows students and faculty looking disturbed as the sky turns gray, almost like they were preparing for future events. It even shows a close-up of Snape looking conflicted in the shadows. It might have been cut because it made things a little more morbid, but I think it would have been perfect kept in. Next, we have a deleted scene from the Deathly Hallows Part 1 movie called Theyre Watching You. It takes place when Harry, Ron, and Hermione go undercover as Albert Runcorn, Reginald Cattermole, and Mafalda Hopkirk. Harry and Ron are in the Ministry of Magic elevator when Ron's dad walks in and talks to them, thinking they are actually Runcorn and Cattermole. Right when Ron's dad walks out, Harry calls out to him and warns him, telling him that he's being tracked. Mr. Weasley thinks this is a threat, but Harry tells him that he's being watched by the Ministry and that he's not threatening him.
Hello, Magic. I understand Mary's coming in for questioning today. Try to have faith. If there's anything that Molly and I can do to help...
Don't tell me. It's raining in the Axley's office again.
Tell him to try an umbrella.
Arthur. You know you're being tracked, don't you?
Is that a threat, Uncle?
No. It's a fact. They're watching you.
Last but not least is an alternate scene that they decided not to use. It takes place in Deathly Hallows Part 2, the final battle between Harry and Voldemort. In this scene, it shows Voldemort falling to the floor and dying a normal death, basically symbolizing that he was a man after all, and not this god that he was made out to be. This is how he perished in the books, but the film producers decided he should turn into dust instead. Which version would you prefer? For an honorable mention, we have the deleted scene with Ron and Hermione in Deathly Hallows where Ron teaches Hermione to skip a rock. It's certainly a tender moment between them that shouldn't have been deleted.
The flatter the better. Try that. Alright. Lean back a bit, get quite low. Flick the wrist. Whoa.
Oh, you're really good at it.
Yeah.
So what, kind of like that?
No. Get down. And just this arm back, and then...
It's two?
Two.
It's good. So what, kind of like...
If there's any scenes that you think should have been added, let us know in the comments.
Going straight into it and going mad.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Lucky man. Lucky man.